I talked to a fireman once. This is one of the reasons it freaked me out. And he was telling me, he goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind and fire's going to start in the right place and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean. And there's not a fucking thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through LA and there's not going to be a thing we can do about it. Because these fires are so big, dude. When they're talking about like thousands of acres that are burning simultaneously with like 40-mile-an-hour winds. And the wind's just blowing embers through the air, and those embers are landing on roofs, and those houses are going up, and they're landing on bushes, and those bushes are going up, and everything's dry. And once it happens in a way where it's so spread out that there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
You just have to evacuate, right?
Nothing they can do.
I'll be the first to say it. These LA fires are not natural fires. They're being intentionally done just like Hawaii. I spent tons and tons of hours there today. I filmed all of it. I'm going to show you right now. These fires are created intentionally, and it is not a coincidence that it's at the same time as some random windstorm in LA.
I spent hours riding around the fires looking at everything. Here's some random clips throughout the night. You can see all the houses on fire, buildings on fire, trees on fire. A lot of chaos, a lot of damage. Now this is the clip to really watch. You can see that whole house in the back is on fire, and this car parked in front of it has been completely melted into the ground, burnt to a crisp. But something interesting is the tree that hangs directly above it doesn't seem to be affected at all. Still has all those green leaves on it, nothing burnt, completely intact. Even the grass fully surrounding this car has no singe marks, it's green grass, untouched. Even that expensive, nice landscaping in the background seems to be untouched. That tree is immediately above this car. How can those leaves not have been affected by flames big enough and strong enough to burn that car down? If the flames are big enough to burn the car, they're clearly big enough to touch that tree. Yet those leaves seem perfectly intact. It seems more like it was a targeted strike of sorts, just like in Hawaii, not a natural disaster.
Call me a conspiracy theorist, but there is no way that 8 different fires starting within a period of 48 hours in LA is due to climate change. You want to tell me that insurance companies canceling people's policies in these areas over the past few months, officials cutting firefighting funding, emptying water reservoirs, and being more concerned about sending aid to another country is just coincidence? Okay.
Assessments here are correct. These are very covert weapons, aren't they?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things, especially on the low duration, the low intensity, long duration hits.
They're not just designed to make people feel like they're going crazy or to torture people. These weapons are designed to kill and to cause cancer and heart attacks and strokes. In the government documents, they clearly say microwave radiation produces heart seizures, neurological pathologies, which include strokes and aneurysms and the like. Many people have been taken out like that. Effects on the central nervous system, MS, and other neurological disorders, but also causing cancers, mutations in the chromosomes. This is everywhere in the DoD documents, and the Pentagon admits it themselves.
Your assessments here are correct. These are very covert weapons, aren't they?
I know how they're going to attack. Think of a microwave. Frequencies. If you put a metal fork in there, it sparks and explodes. But if you put broccoli in there, it heats it up. The difference is the material it's made of. You cannot put metals in a microwave. High frequency device. Now let's talk about this direct energy weapon. That's a high frequency device. Melting all the metals, leaving trees behind. Sounds like they're using microwave technology and it's affecting metals. Well, imagine if you had a bunch of metals in your body. Heavy metals, like barium, aluminum. You know, the stuff they spray in the air or the stuff they put in water, even in food. And the you know what. Long story short, we need to eliminate metals in our body. Imagine if they turn that up higher, level 2. The more metals you have in your body, the higher the chances of you exploding. melting like those cars, catching on fire, sparking like the fork in the microwave. You need a detox from heavy metals right now. I did another video on this recently about a movie I watched. They use frequencies to disintegrate people. This isn't a movie, folks. We're test subjects. I saw a video about the people in Hawaii that were jumping in the ocean because their skin was burning. It wasn't burning because of the fire. It was from the frequencies coming from whatever it is they hit it with. They were cooking. Water in their body was cooking. And if they had a lot of metal in there, or if the frequency was higher, people would be just like those cars, disintegrated. Far-fetched? Not anymore. I use frequencies to detox. I use mineral salts, cilantro under the tongue, onions on the bottom of your foot, rebounding on a trampoline. Stop.
This harkens back to your brilliant book on the California fire. Someone said that there was a bunch of gold in some of these towns that got burnt out.
Up in paradise is where we find the riches. You know, there's so much gold, there's so much silver. Do you know where the first diamond mines were ever found, Daryl?
Oh, Paradise, California.
In Magalia. And as soon as it was the largest largest diamond mines, and immediately was bought up by the De Beers Company.
So it's not the Congo, it's Paradise, California.
Well, De Beers makes all the fake diamonds. They take all the real diamonds.
Fake. They're
yeah,
fake.
Oh, they're all fake. Yeah, all the diamonds. Sorry, ladies, but all the diamonds. I did a whole video on that. It's fascinating. It's when they went down. De Beers went down to South Africa and got control of the diamond mines. Mm-hmm. It's also down in Almaden. Silicon Valley was founded because of the red mercury mines. And what we're learning is red mercury, that little red mercury, used to go create all the free energy that all the domes are run on around the world. They all had free energy with the water and the star forts and everything else. California was the paradise. That this land was fecundant. The flora and fauna, they lived with nature. The bears, the elk, the geese, everything was fecundant because the queen was ruling over it. They said originated was Queen Califia, came from this book Esplanandia, when in fact that's not true. But they have all these images of her, and they're actually resurrecting her now.
Let's take a look at the aftermath of the Pacific Palisade fires here in LA, and let's ask the question, guys, what kind of energy does it take to pulverize these concrete and steel buildings, pulverize them to the ground, yet leave these trees all intact? You would think, that the trees should be also burnt to the ground with, force like this. Directed energy force like this is kind of what I'm thinking and saying. I'm not saying it, but I'm thinking it, you know what I mean? Looking eerily similar to the wildfires that happened in Maui. And what's also interesting is the water was shut off in LA. That's what everyone's saying. The water was shut off, just like Maui was. Now, is that just a coincidence, guys? Is that just a coincidence? Or is something else happening here? Something else happening? Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure to like, share, and follow for more. Peace and love.
A huge area of Southern California is on fire. As of right now, it's not even close to being under control. Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, and more. Evacuations have already started, and they're continuing through the night. Officials are warning that this wildfire more than likely will get worse before tomorrow. Here's an image of the fire from an airplane earlier tonight. California gets hit by wildfires a lot, but this seems to be one of the biggest ones anyone can remember. And it's not even close to being contained. Okay, I just wanted to keep you all updated. Shabadoo Booshkies. Shabadoo.
Okay, so here we have the new ATMs here at UVA Credit Union in Berkmar in Charlottesville, Virginia. Looks like they're made by Hillsong, with a thing that looks kind of like the buildings there in Wuhan, China. This looks like a bar to possibly scan your license plate or your vehicle. Down here we have ID card scan, I assume, for vaccination cards. Over here we have a palm vein scan, which looks like possible microchips. And so what they're going to do is they're going to require mandatory vaccinations for all Americans and all of your children. And if you do not, comply with them, then they are not going to allow you to have access to your money. They will take your children. You will not have any kind of benefits. But they will give you the option to opt out, to give you free will to make it your own choice.
They're waving me down. Hi there.
I know I'm not supposed to.
That's fine. You decided not to leave.
I know I'm not supposed to be here, but this is my parents' home.
I know the feeling.
And they just lost They got canceled from their fire insurance. So they're dealing with this. They're 90 years old. And through the state of California, because of this, they're 90 years old. They've lived in this house for 75 years, and they've had the same insurance, and these insurance people decided to cancel their fire. And we're going through this, and it just happened, and they have no fire insurance. So thank you, California insurance companies, supporting residents who pay taxes and love California. And they wonder why people leave California.
Subscribe to Lauren's social media now, or I will weather modify your area so you will have flood for a week or so. Or my name is not Donald Trump.
And edits with flair. You gotta follow him, baby, if you dare. Your feet feels empty without his magic touch. You got the blues and the laughs that you crave so much. With a click and a follow, you'll find some relief. Lawrence Lynn's social media, a digital belief. Click, subscribe, don't miss a trick. Now, hey, leave your worries and come on, click today. Lawrence Lynn's got the content right in line.